Hey everyone, I don't usually make videos in this sort of commentary style, but with this recent trend going around with Battlefront 3, I wanted to make something really short real quick, just to get something out there, express my opinions and whatnot. Now for those of you who don't know, the Star Wars Battlefront series is basically just third-person shooter Star Wars games set in the iconic battles in the movies. And these games are really fun, believe it or not. I've always loved Star Wars, especially at a younger age, so when I found out that there was a game series that literally put me in Star Wars, I was hooked on the concept alone. So when Battlefront 2 was announced back in 2017, I was hyped. I was super excited for this game, and when it came out, I thought it was a blast. I didn't realize that the game was riddled with controversies with the microtransactions and the star cards. I was just having fun, and I enjoyed the game for what it was. Over the years too, the game severely improved. They got rid of the microtransactions. Progression was a lot more smoother and accessible, so you don't have to pay to be good at Darth Vader. And they added a bunch of new content too, like Droidekas, General Grievous, Obi-Wan, Capital Supremacy. Honestly, I think Capital Supremacy was the best choice they made because that is definitively the best game mode in the game right now. And it was going great. The game was just peaking and peaking every single update, just getting better and better. And then EA pulled the plug on it. The final update for Battlefront 2 was adding in Scarif, and they said themselves that they thought this was the definitive version of Battlefront 2. And this is just me, but I think that was a BS response. The real reason why they pulled the plug on Battlefront was because EA wanted DICE's developers to work on future projects like Battlefield 2042, for example. And well, we all know how well that went. Now, it's quite sad that they had to pull the plug on Battlefront so early on. The game just got better with each and every update, but I can kind of understand why they had to do it. With so many live service games that EA was just developing at the time, they needed all the resources they could, so that just left other games that were quite older to fend off for themselves, and Battlefront was one of those games. It maintained a player base for a while, but eventually it started to dwindle down, and the numbers weren't as big as they were before, which, sad to think about. However, recently, a huge resurgence of players started to play Battlefront 2 again for the sole reason to try to push EA to develop Battlefront 3. Now, there are a lot of factors that are going into why so many people are coming back to Battlefront 2, but I think the main reason is because of the amount of Star Wars content we've been getting recently. The second season of Andor has been doing super well from what I hear. Fortnite had an entire season dedicated to Star Wars, so a lot of people have Star Wars on their mind. And to me, I think May the 4th this year was super big as well. So yeah, a lot of people just have Star Wars on their minds, and I feel like for gaming wise, a lot of people want a definitive way to play like a Star Wars game, like a definitive Star Wars experience, and that's what Battlefront 2 is. But people want a new Battlefront because no one works on Battlefront 2 anymore, so they're trying to make this movement to push Battlefront 3 into at least a development stage, or at least try to pitch the idea to EA or whoever owns the Star Wars right now. And it's working really well, actually. The player numbers for Battlefront right now are huge. I think it's like 13,000 concurrent players on Steam right now, which is huge. So that surpassed the game's peak back in like 2021. The game is huge right now, and the movement online is even bigger. So many people want Battlefront 3 to be real, like a real game, and I'm all for it too. Like I said, I played this game a lot back when I was a child, so this is a big childhood memory of me, and I've always loved Star Wars growing up. It was one of my favorite franchises of all time, and it still is. Now, if Battlefront 3 were to come out, there are a couple things I would love to see in the game. There's so much recent Star Wars content that just came out recently in the last couple of years, and I feel like they can do so much with a third installment. Like, give us Mandalorians as playable characters. Mandalorians are huge now. I would personally love to see more vehicles in like Galactic Assault or Supremacy. We got ATTEs in Battlefront 2, but I feel like stuff like homing spider droids, hellfire droids, just a lot more droid vehicles. I think that would be super cool too, but you know, also give us stuff like AT-OTs. That would be really cool. Another thing too is I would like to see a lot of new heroes being added into the game. Ahsoka would be a really cool addition, but there's a bunch of other characters they could add in too, like perhaps maybe more bounty hunters from the original Battlefront from 2015. Re-adding those guys would be pretty cool, but also new characters like Din Djarin, for example. A lot of people really like Mandalorians now, so Din Djarin would be a pretty cool person to see in the game, but maybe clone heroes like Captain Rex or Commander Cody. We haven't seen any clone heroes yet in the game series, so having those guys I think would make fans really happy to see, especially with the popularity of Clone Wars. So I really think it would be a good addition. Another possible route they could go with are maybe characters from Andor like Cassian himself, or maybe the Bad Batch. Those guys would be really cool to play as. With such a big franchise with Star Wars, they have so many different characters they can choose from. It's just a huge catalog of who gets in and out. I feel like they could really do anything with it. On that note as well, they got a bunch of different planets they can choose on for different maps and such. There are a lot more planets and worlds that they can choose from the more recent Star Wars projects, but I feel like they should do some stuff from like the old games or old movies that they could add into. Like, we've never seen an Utapau map, I'm pretty sure, or a Coruscant map. That would be really fun to fight on Coruscant. Now I can go on and on with the different things they could add into Battlefront 3, but we would be here all day, so I'm gonna wrap this up with I'm really happy to see Battlefront 2 just have an increase in players. I hope Battlefront 3 happens really badly, because seeing a new installment in this franchise would be amazing. It would be super cool. But overall, this whole movement is just fun. It's really fun to just play Battlefront 2 again and just enjoy the game for what it is and appreciate the hard work the people at DICE and EA put into this game. It's great. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say in this video. Sorry for the lack of uploads too. I've been busy recently, but I'll try to get some more stuff out sooner or later. But I hope this small little video was a fun watch at least. It's a topic that's really personal to me because, like I said, I really like Star Wars, and Battlefront is one of my favorite games of all time, believe it or not. So I just wanted to make this short video. Anyway, that's basically it for me. I'm gonna keep playing Battlefront 2 until Battlefront 3 gets announced. So here's hoping, guys. See ya later. Bye.